Hi, now here's a big one for so many of you. Are you a people pleaser, an approval seeker, and do you need constant validation? Now these are big areas, and I think these areas have become more of a thing in recent years. So let me tackle these one at a time, but they're all quite linked. They're kind of partly the same thing. So the people pleaser thing. Well, I've said this before. I'm a people pleaser because I like to make people happy as much as I can, and I will die trying because I can't see any other way, any better way of being. But here's the thing. I want to please people, but I can't control their response to my actions. So I will carry on doing the things that I hope will help people feel better. And if they do, that's fantastic. And if they don't, I have to let it go there, because otherwise I'm taking on board more than can be my responsibility. So that's my thing about people pleasing. I will carry on trying. As for seeking approval, well, I love it when I make these videos and some of you are kind enough to write comments or send me private messages saying how much they help, which is, to be honest, what's spurring me on to carry on doing this. Because without the approval, I think, well, why would I be doing this? Because I want to do this to offer a service, and again, preferably to help other people. So I like approval. I like it. I like being liked. I like it when people enjoy my company, and I like it when people want to have me as their friend. That's all good. But liking approval is one thing. I think it's needing it that's the problem. I think if we get to the point where we're needing people to approve of us and who we are in order to function happily, then that only demonstrates one thing. That would mean, if we're seeking approval of other people, that means we're putting other people's opinion of us above our own opinion of ourselves. How key is that? So surely if we're ultimately comfortable with who we are and who we stand for, we don't need the approval of other people. Now this leads straight on to validation, which is that constant thing, especially these days on social media particularly, where we like how many shares we get, how many likes we get, and all these things. And the trouble with this is it becomes an addiction. It's just like a drug. It works on the brain. And the more we get positive likes and feedbacks or shares, all those things that social media offers us the opportunity to try and get, it becomes an addiction, and we become hooked on this response. But it's a very short-lived response, because the high that it gives us, the dopamine feeling, the rush of positive adrenaline, is a short-lived thing, because our brain is being fed by, if you like, false and superficial positives. Whereas back to validation, the only validation that really counts is our validation of ourselves. So if our self-worth is in a good nick, then if we're okay with who we are, then we don't mind too much what people think of us, which is a very good and healthy place to be. How many friends do you have? How many friends do we need? I sometimes feel like saying I have hundreds of friends. I feel very loved by lots of people, and I feel very blessed for that. And I can honestly say I love lots of people too. But there's probably only a handful who are absolutely my tribe, the people that I can connect with completely on the same emotional level, the people who I think really understand me and I understand them. We have this almost telepathic connection. And those friends are rare. They might only crop up half a dozen or 10 times in a lifetime, or less than that even. But when you find those people, really appreciate that connection, because we all need, science has proven, we all need emotional connection, meaningful emotional connection with other people. But the biggest relationship and the hardest relationship to deal with is, of course, the relationship with ourselves, our self-love. And self-love, I suspect I shall do dozens of videos on this over the months and years to come. But in the short term, self-worth, self-esteem, self-love is the hardest thing to get right. And that's perhaps because we've lived with ourselves in the way that nobody else will or has ever done all our lives. And we've accumulated all this crap that goes on in here and forms that little voice in your head that tells you constantly sometimes that you're falling short, that you're not good enough, that you're going to fail, or that you need more friends, or need more validation, or need to carry on seeking approval, that little voice in your head, ladies and gentlemen, is not you. It's only a little voice. I've kept it fairly short and sweet today, but that's my message. You just need to validate yourself, and everything will take care of itself. Thank you.